In my day job, the one that actually has a paycheck attached to it, I work with a lot of organizations and corporations that are going through transformative change and transition. It's very hard and difficult, and oftentimes it's at a critical juncture in their development. It might be as a result of merger and acquisition. It might be because of new leadership coming in. It might be because of a major shift in their market that suddenly finds them behind the eight ball. But in all cases, these companies are seeing a need to make a significant shift in one direction or another and move their entire operational culture with them. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but as human beings, sometimes we're resistant to change. We like things as they are. It's comfortable. And a few years ago, I was working with a large company, over 20,000 employees, and one of the senior executives pulled me aside one day and said, "Here's what you're going to be dealing with. Everyone on our leadership team agrees that we need to change. We need to change a lot. We need to wholesale change. We need significant change." And he was right. I mean, they were in a tough spot if they didn't make some major adjustments. However, he said, what you're going to be dealing with is that while everyone on the executive team agrees we need to change, they're all firmly of the belief that their part of the company is running perfectly. Everything else needs to change, but not what they do. And boy, was he right. And how much does that reflect who we are and the state of our world today? Everyone is in agreement. Everyone's in agreement that this doesn't work. This argument, this fighting, this polarization, the debates, the visceral hatred and animosity, it doesn't work. Something needs to change. We're all convinced, no one's arguing the fact that something needs to change. But we are all fixated on the idea that someone else needs to change. Not us. We got it figured out. Everyone else. We need to get them to think differently. We need to get them to act differently. We need to get them to have different priorities. Because we got it down. And this is the exact same context in which Jesus is sending the disciples out in the gospel as agents of change. The word they use is repentance, but that means change. To be agents of change in the world. And we are disciples being sent forward to be agents of change. But the task is so much bigger than changing a policy or changing a practice or a law or the way we think. It's so much bigger than changing minds. The charge we're given is to change hearts. To change hearts, starting with our own. And that is tough. And when we go out trying to change ourselves, trying to change culture, trying to change the way we interact with each other, it's always important to start with what we don't have to change. It gives us a sense of anchoring, a sense of continuity with who we are, to identify on the front end, what can we take with us into the new order? And Jesus tells the disciples, here's what you can take with you. You can take your staff. You can take your sandals. Now, why a staff and sandals? Because these are the things that enable us to move forward. They're metaphors in the story, but these are instruments that allow us to keep walking, to keep journeying, to keep going on. and move forward. And we have to identify for each of us, what is the staff and the sandals in your life? For me, it's joy, humor, kindness, compassion, imagination. But what is it for you? What are the staff and the sandals that you get to carry with you as you embark on changing hearts, starting with your own? The second thing we have to ask ourselves, which is a much tougher question, what are we going to do without? What are we going to let go of? What are we going to leave behind? Jesus tells the disciples in the gospel, leave behind food and provisions. Again, what do those represent? They represent comfort and security. These are the instruments of comfort and security, because when we get too comfortable, we don't want to move forward. We lose track of our staff and our sandals because we don't need them, because who wants to get out of the chair on the beach? It's a nice place to be. It's comfortable. So we just settle in to that status quo. But Jesus says, take with you the instruments you need to keep journeying, and leave behind the things that are so comfortable and secure that you just stay there. Leave behind the things that are holding you back. And the third thing, after we decide what we're taking with us, what we're leaving behind, we have to decide, what are we going to start doing differently? And here Jesus introduces this idea, this wonderful, beautiful, great, amazing advice for life. When you run into resistance, kick the dirt from your sandals and move on. Start a practice of just moving forward and letting go. And I wonder how many hours of good sleep I've lost by having arguments in my mind. Arguing with people in my mind, arguing with myself in my mind, because I couldn't kick the dirt from my sandals. How many relationships, how many families, how many friendships have been decimated, gutted, and destroyed by social media? Because we get caught up in the argument. We run into resistance, and the first thing we want to do is what? We want to change their minds. So we get stuck right there, arguing and fighting, trying to change everyone's mind. And Jesus is saying, that's not why we're here. We're not here to change anyone's mind. We're here to change hearts. To change hearts, starting with our own. Take with you what you need to keep moving forward. Leave behind the comfort and security that holds you back. And when you run into resistance and arguments and people aren't interested in the love that you're bringing, that you want to share, that's okay. Kick the dirt from your sandals. Just move on to keep sharing love. This is how we change hearts, by bringing love into the world. And all along this journey, all along this path, we're going to keep encountering people who aren't interested in that love. They're just not. They're not there. They're not ready. They're just too overwhelmed with other things. And they're going to push back on us, and they're going to try to push the darkness onto us. And if we're not careful, we'll let them. Don't, Jesus says. Take with you what you need to move forward. Let go of that which is holding you back. And if someone's not interested in the love you have to share, let it go and move on. And may the heart-changing love of Christ rain down upon you. May the heart-changing love of Christ stir the heart within you. And may the heart-changing love of Christ flow into the world through you.